group our questions based on their characteristics. You may have a questionnaire having groups of questions that look at that. One group could be looking at demographic characteristics or demographic information of the respondent. Then another one will be looking at, let me say, household characteristics or knowledge characteristics or practices characteristics or attitude characteristics. So you can categorize those questions here in Kobo. So how do we do it? So you come to, let me say, this question, the questions you would want to categorize together, to group together. So click that one question, then on your keyboard long press the control button and keep it pressed and clicked, and then come and left click onto this other question. Then you can release the control button. So after that, you'll have selected both of them. So they can be as many as possible. You can select as many as possible. So I just want to group these two questions under demographic characteristics. So what I do, I come into this create group icon here, this other one, create group with selected questions. So when you click onto it, so it will group these questions that I selected. So if you selected like 5 of them, it will group them, and then you can edit the name of this group. So here I can call it demographic information. So that is one group. Sorry. So this is one group, and I can minimize it from here. So I'll have a group of questions called demographic information, and when you maximize it, it will come like this. Then you can also group these other ones. We say to group, you first click on that question, then long press the control button, and then click left click onto the other questions that you would need to group. So I click onto that. You see it as its boundaries are now lighting blue, and then we said you come and click this other this icon of the grouping icon, and then you'll have that other group created. So you can rename this group. Let me say knowledge information something. So you can rename the groups like that. So you'll have this group, and you can create as many groups as possible based on the questionnaire you are trying to work on. And after that, you can save, you close and redeploy. Then you can test using your link that you opened on this other tab. We said it can take about 20 seconds to refresh, so you have to wait for the message to be displayed that a new version of the form has been uploaded, something like that. So it will load. Just discard this. So you can do this and have a separate tab where you are just testing your form. So whichever change you make, you come and test. Whichever change you come and test, so that you keep track of every edit that you make. So we refresh here, and then so we shall have this group demographic information, and here you can minimize it even here. So demographic information, in knowledge information, if you see this, it cannot display its questions because its questions was set to only be displayed if some questions inside here have been answered. So someone has to first answer this. So even this knowledge information group, it can also be set with the skip logic to do what? To only be displayed if some conditions have been met. So I leave that to you to try it out and test it and see if it can work out, and then make comments on this video of how you've progressed on that. So if I select this gender, then I go to location, let me see Wakiso, and then so you see the question in knowledge will then come in. How do you get know of this disease? Let me say none of these, and I just go to others. I'll provide you with the other options that I will have thought of, and then I will submit. So if I submit, the form will load and say 1 was successfully submitted. So when you come to your form and then try to refresh it, you can actually see the number of submissions that have been made on your form right here at this point. So for now we have 1 submission that has been made this form, and that is how we can do that. You can group questions according to characteristics of what the questionnaire identified, and thereafter that you can see once they submit, this is how you can view. One of the ways you can see the submissions. The other way is to click on this data. If you can check this data option, if you click onto that, so this is where you can access all the information that the data that has been submitted. So we have, so far this is just 1 submission. The data will be recorded in these rows. So we have this first row, then this another row will be established, another row, and as many as possible for those who will have submitted. So that is basically what's done. So the next we shall look at is how we can download now the results that we have captured in our survey. How can we download the results?